The purpose of this forum is for you to gain better insight into the real character of George Washington and to separate the myth from the man. The traditional view of Washington presents him as a heroic man, a man of few faults. This image has been bolstered by many stories that were told in the 1800s. Particularly, there was an individual called Parson Weems who wrote stories for children, all about George Washington and the cherry tree and not telling a lie and throwing a coin across the Potomac River, or one of those rivers it was at the time. Of course, those stories had very little to do with the true character and nature of George Washington. So ultimately, those kinds of mythological ideas have done a disservice to the truth about George Washington. George Washington was a complex man and a brilliant man in his own right, and so looking at his true nature shows us his flaws, but it also tells us that he's a much more interesting man than those stories that were told by Parson Weems. So your job in this discussion forum is to consider Washington's true character. How does it differ from the myths that grew up around him? Could the mythological Washington have been even successful? What were his worst attributes? How would he have been dealt with today in the modern press? Express your opinions, and for example, do you like the real Washington? Or do you admire him more or less when you really look at the true man? And remember, as always, be brilliant and don't forget to get your first post done within the first 3 days of that forum's beginning. Otherwise, you won't get proper credit. Thank you.